Okay, this is the OCR paper still, and we're on to question 4 now. So question 4, it says find and simplify the first 3 terms, so it's this paper here. Find and simplify the first 3 terms of this expansion in ascending powers of x. So let's have a look. So we've got 2 minus 5x to the power of 5, and we want to expand this out. Now we normally use the binomial expansion here, so we would normally just go with, what's it going to be? It's 2 to the 5 plus n choose r, so we've got 5 choose 1, 2 to the 4 minus 5 to the power of 1, but I won't write that one down, so what's the point? So it's equal to plus c 5 choose 2, and then that's 2 cubed and then minus 5 squared. Oh, where's the x gone? X in there and x in there. And what does it say in the question? So first 3 terms, that's 1, 2, 3. So there would be more plus dot 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 dot. I don't really care about the dot 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 bit. So what's this 5 choose 1? Well, that's so it's going to be, so what's it? N choose r is n factorial over r factorial and then n minus r factorial. Okay, so you need to know that bit. So 5 choose 1 is equal to 5 factorial over 1 factorial, and then 5 take 1 is 4 factorial. Oops, put the factorial in. And that thing, I'll just put there kind of 4 factorial, which just equals 5 actually, so it's equal to 5. Okay. Another way to think about this is it's 5 factorial means 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and then 1 factorial is obviously just 1 times by 4 factorial, which is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, and all those cancel out. 5 over 1 is just 5, and that's how that worked. 5 choose 2 is 5 factorial over 2 factorial and 3 factorial, which is 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1 over 2 times 1 for 2 factorial times 3 times 2 times 1 for that one. These are all going to cancel out. The 2 going to 4 twice, that's going to give me 10, so we're left with just 10. Okay, so there's your choosing bits. So go back to the equation. 2 to the power of 5 is 2, times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32. So we've got 2 minus 5x to the power of 5 is equal to 32, plus c choose 1 we said was 5. 5 times 2 to the power of 4 is 16, times by minus 5x, so it's minus 5x there, plus, and then the next bit is 5 choose 2 is 10, times 8, times, and minus 5x squared is going to be plus 25x squared. So that's going to be 25x squared there, plus, and then it goes on forever. Well, it doesn't go on forever, it goes on for another 2 terms, but we're not bothered about them. That's equal to 32. We've got 5 times 16 is 80. 80 times 5 is 400, so it's take away 400x. Okay, the x don't forget, and the minus and the plus. And then we've got 8 times 25 is 200. 200 times 10 is 2000, so plus 2000x squared. Plus, and then it just runs off for another 2 terms, but we don't have to worry about working those 2 things out. Okay, so that's what that one turns out to be once you've done the expansion. And then it says, so that's part A, so number 4, part A. Right, part B, it's saying what happens when you've got 1 plus ax squared, and then you've got 2 minus 5x to the power of 5, so basically this thing. And it's saying the coefficient of x is 48, so you've got 48x somewhere in the list, okay? And I've got to figure out what A is. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand this one, and I'll put that together as well. So if I expand that, I've got 1 plus 2 lots of ax squared, plus, have I got that right? Where's the, oh, the squared's on the outside, sorry, put that on the outside, so it's 2 lots of ax, and then plus a squared x squared, so that looks like that one. And then this thing is 2 minus 5x to the power of 5 is just that one, so it's 32 minus 400x plus 2000x squared plus whatever, going off for another 2 terms. Okay, 2. So x squared, x cubed, x to the 4, x to the 5, another 3 times. Right, so the next one we've got, so we're looking for just terms of x. So your next question is, how do you get terms of x? Well, you get it from doing 1 times 400x. So you've got minus 400x. And then the other way you can get it is by doing that one times that one. So 2ax times 32, so plus 64ax. Are the only ways you can get terms of x's, and that's going to come to 48x's. Okay. And if you just look at the coefficients of the x now, so just look at the numbers, you've got 64a minus 400 equals 48. You add the 400 on, so 64a equals 448, and a must equal 448 over 64, and that's good enough for me. If you grab your calculator, that'll turn out to be, let's have a look what it'll turn out to be. I've got 448 divided by 64, and it turns out to be 7. Okay, so here's 7 in the question. Bit of a more taxing question, that one. Number 4. Let's see how scary number 5 is. Number 5 looks easy. Let's have a go at number 5. Right, number 5 then. That's number 5. So we've got these points A, B, C, D. We've got the position vectors. So position vector of A is 1, 2. Here's that one. B is equal to 3, 5. C is equal to 7, 4. And D is equal to 4, or weird, or K. Alright, a bit weird. And where's the K come from? Alright, let's have a look. Find the value for K for which D is the midpoint of AC. So the way you find the midpoint of something is just add the things together and divide by 2. So if I do 1 AC, so 1, 2 and 7, 4. Let me just turn that page over there. That's something I'm looking at. So 1, 2, and 7, 4 plus 7, 4 is equal to 8, 6, isn't it? And then if I half both those to get the midpoint, so that's the midpoint, 4, 3 is just half of that one. And then that's equal to 4k. So clearly k must equal 3. Next question, find 2 values for k for which A to D is, the magnitude of A to D is root 13. So I've got the magnitude of AD is equal to the square root of 13. So this is part B. So what's AD? So A to D is equal to D minus A, which is equal to 4 over K. Take away 1, 2. So that's obviously 3 and K minus 2. So that's that bit. So that's A to D. The magnitude of that is just Pythagoras, isn't it? So we've got Pythagoras on that one. So we've got the square root of 3 squared plus k minus 2 squared. So the square root of all that has got to equal the magnitude that we told, which is the square root of 13. And now clearly the 2 square roots are just going to cancel each other out, so we're not bothered by that one. Let's just do this thing. So now I've got 9 plus squaring out that bracket, you've got k squared minus 4k plus 4, and you should be able to expand the brackets, equals 13. Okay, if you're not sure how to expand this thing, I always tell my classes the best thing to do is just to write it out twice and then go for whichever technique you're using to expand brackets. And normally I teach 3 different techniques of that, and let people choose their own. Tidying this thing up, I've now got k squared minus 4k plus 13, but then that's a 13 on that side as well, isn't it? So that's going to cancel each other out. Let's just write then plus 13 equals 13. Now let's cancel it out. So you get k squared minus 4k equals 0, and then you can factorize that into k minus 4 equals 0. So k must equal 0 or 4. Now let's just read the question, see if there's anything. Find the 2 values. So there's 2 values. I just wondered if you're going to cancel one out for any weird reason. The next one, find 1 value for which the 4 points form a trapezium. So I've got this A, B, C, D. Now the only thing that's interesting about a trapezium is you've got parallel sides, and to have parallel sides, it just means that one vector is a multiple of the other one. So that's what we're looking for here. So I'm going to say, let's just pick on AB. So if I say AB, I want that one to be parallel to CD. Let's say I want this to be true. Okay. And you could have picked other points, so there is actually 3 answers to this question. These are just the 2 that I'm randomly picking. Now, I want them to be parallel, so one's going to be a multiple of the other one. So let's work them out. So BA, so AB is B minus A. Okay, so B is 3, 5. Take away A is 1, 2. So that's clearly 2, 3. So that's going to be AB. We've got CD, so C to D is the one that I've said, which is D minus C, which equals, what's D? D was that 4K thing. Take away C, which is 7, 4, and that's equal to minus 3 over K minus 4 on the bottom. Okay, now these are only going to be parallel if one's a multiple of the other one. So now I'm just thinking, how do I get from 2 to 3? Well, I times it by 1.5, and therefore if I times it by minus 1.5, I'm going to get to minus 3. So to get from there to there, times by minus 1.5, and that'll work, won't it? That'll give you that one. What's happened to the lights? I think the lights have just gone out because it's nobody's moved. So that's what's happening there. So if I times this by 1.5, 3 by 1.5, I'll get to this version. So this K minus 4 must equal 3 times 1.5 is 4.5, 3 times minus 1.5 is minus 4.5. And then just add the 4 to the other side, you get K equals, add the 4, minus 0.5 is the version of K that I've got. Now there was different answers depending on which lines you said are parallel. So the other versions I've got K equals 16 over 3, and K could also equal 5 over 4, and they would give you trapeziums, and it just depends on which sides you pick on to be parallel. Okay, that's questions 4 and 5 done. Bye.